Hey guys, it's Boy, and in this tutorial I'm going to introduce you to something. So let us create a new project. So we will be learning about methods with return types. So hope you have seen the first video about methods, the introduction to methods. Now let us first name our method, and we will call our method returns, because we'll be learning about return types. So you can name your project anything you want. So for me, I've just chosen to name it name, and always the first file that is always in the source package, and in the first package that holds the name of the project holds the first project. Now we have a situation here where you want this method to return something, like methods is can act like a messenger. You want it to do something, and then at the end of the day you want it to give you some feedback. Now I'll show you an example. So method can decide, you can decide to have a method that does not have any return type, meaning it does not give any feedback. It just performs certain task that you assigned it, and that's it. So now take an example where we create a method, whether it's a private method, and you want this method to return a string. Like, so you can just decide, because we'll be calling it from a static point. So just say this method should be static, and then now this way of purpose your return type, it can be void, meaning that it doesn't have any return like we have done in previous tutorials, but it can be a string, meaning that what we want from here is a string. So this method, now call this method display, because you want it to display the string that is that you get. So you can see there's an error here, because so far this is a method that has a return type, but we have ended this method without returning anything. What if we decide to return some string value here, and let us say no my name, and then that's it. You can see the error disappeared. And if you want to get the value of the method here, the string that was returned here, you can just as well say like string value, or value equals to, you get the method. Like I'll just say display into brackets. It is just the same thing. So what you are actually saying here, this string value should be whatever will be returned from the method display. So you can just declare a string. If this method is supposed to return a string, you can just as well declare a new string to be the name of the method. So when this method will be called, this method display into brackets, it has no parameter in between them, meaning it will anything that will be returned will be string value. Let us now even change the content and see what we have. So system will now print out whatever will be returned to see if we are correct. Now we'll just say the string value. So I'll just say value. So I'll just say, and then now let us run our application and see. Now it returned something, and as well it returned no. Now to make everything now straightforward, let us type in a different name, and I will type in Barack Obama. Now after doing that, now let me run the application again. Barack Obama. So it returned successfully. So now that is a method that has a string return type. Now that is one scenario. Now let us change this method display, and let us change the return type to be an integer. And you can see, first of all, there's an error created here, meaning this one is a string. You cannot return a string to a method that has a return type of integer. So what if you want to do that? Just return the integer, like 500. And when I save this project and run, first of all, we have not echoed anything here. So first of all, I'll say integer value equals display. Meaning that whatever will be returned, the integer, because we have declared that this method is not complete if an integer is not returned. Now, to show you this, or to put everything into perspective, let us type out or print out whatever is being displayed. So value is what we want to echo. Now I'll save the project and run. We will know now it has returned 500. But what if you want to create something like a calculator? Like, let us change even the name of this method and call it calculate. And in this method, we will now put in some parameters. So hope I told you something about parameters. Now this is a method that has a return type of an integer, but this integer, we want it to make this method calculate to be more like a calculator, where it takes two parameters and it gives us the return, the message, and this integer return can be called from anywhere in the application. Now to do that, we'll set in some parameters like integer a. This method will require two parameters, integer a and integer b. And then when you do this, you can say integer c equals a plus b. And then this c will be the one that will be returned here. You get it? Now we want to see what will be returned here. The best way to see that way will be like saying integer value is equals to calculate. Now this one is different, like we had done before, but this one now is different. You want integer value to be the return type integer that will be called calculate. But remember, this calculate requires two parameters for it to operate. So let us, and then we want now, after the value that is you will get to be printed out. So now when you print it, value, now you can see, yes, we can print out a value, but there's still a looming error here. So to solve this error, this method calculate requires, and it's more like a must, to put some two integers here. So we'll just place some two integers here. So I'll just place 100 and 20, and you can see the error has disappeared. Now this one, it has an integer, it has a return type of type integer, and it also has some set of parameters. Now let us run the application, and you can see the return type is 120. So this, the reason why I'm introducing you to this return types, and these are very important, is because when you want to create a login application in Java, this is the actual knowledge you'll be using in creating applications like that. Now let me show you now another scenario where let us say the return type is a double. Well, I'll just show you so that you can be familiar. So maybe the everything will be entered is a double, and so will be integer c, and so will be integer value. It will be a double. It will just work the same. When you run the application, it will return a double value, 120.0. So you can see these return types are very important when you want an application to return something. But you see, again, since we have been working with applications that have return types, there is this one application that we've been doing, but maybe you wouldn't have. It's a void, meaning it doesn't have a return type. And now you can see there's an error here because double value in a method that has no return type, now that is erroneous. So to solve that, now you can just come here and you can see you have returned C to avoid the method. Now that's an error. You cannot return anything to avoid the method because it doesn't, when you declare a method void, it doesn't expect any return type. So the best thing you can do here is just to print out the C if you want to see the C. So system out print, and I'll print out our C. So because we have done that, now let us call our method. We'll call our method, and I'll place some two integers here, 100, and I'll place 20. And then after doing that, now let us run our application and then we'll call it a day. When we run, you see there's something that has been done. So that was it about methods that have return types. I hope you learned something about this method that have return types. So let us meet in the next tutorial, and I will be showing you now the basic applications now of methods when you are applying in graphical user interface applications. So thank you for watching this video.